Welcome to the 320 Podcast, where we encourage you to reach for the immeasurably more life with Christ. From discussions on Scripture, to poetic messages, to dreaming big with Jesus, you will enjoy a variety of episodes brought to you by Shelly Wilson Ministries. To find out more about Shelly Wilson Ministries and the many resources available to you, please visit our website at www.shellywilsonministries.org.
Hey, you guys, it's Shelly. Listen, this is going to be a 320 podcast, completely unscripted. I'm actually driving to my grandkids' house, but man, I just had something just cross my mind. Actually, it's been stirring in me all morning. Some of you know, because I didn't really do a live this week because I was headed on the road, but I did read for you something that God had given me in the morning called Day by Day. And a couple of us have been just talking about how the Lord is, really he's going from assignment to assignment. And with that discussion that I had, and even the discussion that we had Monday night in our boundaries class, of so often we're looking to get to that destination. We're looking to get to some place. And what happens is we get super frustrated because we feel like we can never get there. And one of the scriptures, when I was texting back and forth with one of our sweet ones, the Proverbs dropped in my spirit. Man makes plans, but God establishes his steps. And that was certainly a word for me, because in this season, it's like God's pulling, in some ways, he's pulling on the reins with me. But it's almost like he's loosening me in a way, because I'm very doggone bone when it comes to stewarding schedules and my time and the ministry, and it's really important to me that I steward well, right, what God's given to me. And of course, I'm in a season of a bit of a health thing, and so I'm having to go to physical therapy, and there's just some stuff now added to my schedule, which I'm not really fond of. And so but I wanted to hop on, because this thought popped into my heart of make yourself intentionally write down or remember the divine appointments along the way. You know, it's always been this way with me. Now, granted, these days I'm in a ministry building in downtown Troop, whereas in the past I was on the road singing at places. Sorry about my GPS. Singing at different places. And when you're out and about like that, it's really cool to watch God send you on an adventure, heart to heart. I expected that, right? So these days when I'm in a building most of the time, that doesn't happen as much, right? Because I'm not out as much. And it was like I just stopped to get gas in White House before I was heading to Dallas. And let me just tell you, I ran right into my old UPS driver who loves the Lord. I looked at him. He looked different because he wasn't in his uniform, right? And I was just like, do I know you? And I just recognized his eyes, because I remember when he would deliver to me, he was always working so late, about 9 p.m., 10 p.m. And we just sat there for a few minutes, and he said, are you taking care of yourself? I said, yes, sir. But the Lord is really dealing with me, and he's telling me to relax. Today, my word is relax. And he just started sharing some things. He said, Shelly, you know, God is going to always let you know when it's time to rest, when you've got to take care of yourself when you're just too tired, you know. And I said, yes, sir. I mean, God in my life is known to put me to bed if he thinks I need it, you know. But I got in the car and I went, look at Jesus. I was just like, look at you, Jesus. You're just doing it out of the box right now. It's assignment to assignment. And so when he tends to free me up from being in the building, in my natural mind, y'all, because I'm a routine person, I'm a very disciplined person, I think sometimes we think we're not doing what we need to do because we're out of our routine. But it's like God is saying, I want to break some of your routines. You know, I want to break some of your routines so you can learn You can learn to go where the wind blows. Go where the wind blows, Shelly. And sometimes that means I need you to take a day off, and I've got some divine appointments along the way, right? It's so interesting too, because last week I started physical therapy, and I walk into the building and I'm asking the Lord, am I going to stay here, Lord, or is this really not for me? And I get to the receptionist, and I look at her, and I'm like, I know you. And she went, I was wondering if you were my Shelly. I was wondering if you were my Shelly. It was so precious. I had met her several years ago when we were remodeling our house, and she sold me the light fixtures, but now she's working the job at the place I'm at, physical therapy. And so we just began to talk, and then I go into the therapy room. She waits on me to check me out. She's probably going to be listening to this. And y'all, it was like it was so comforting to see a familiar face, because I'm in a season that some of it I'm not liking, right? Because it's, let's face it, nobody wants to be in physical therapy. But after that session was over, we just sat out by her desk and just visited about the Lord. Me, her, and the therapist, and how God speaks to me, and how I write songs with Him, and just His way with me. And it was like, okay, Lord. I mean, you're back to the assignment, Shelly. Relax on your schedule. Let me blow the wind a little bit. And I just, you forget. Sometimes we get so rigid with our plans, right? Even with plans that are good and godly, right? But the Lord's like, you keep getting into this place where it's just, you're walking a tightrope instead of relaxing with me. I'm going to establish your steps. You can make plans, Shelly, but I'm going to establish your steps. And here's the thing, y'all, Joshua 1, right? Every place your foot steps will be given to you, right? It doesn't, wherever it is, I believe everywhere I step, God is bringing Himself into a place to love on people, to just encourage people, and all those things. So I wanted to come on and just share a couple of the things that have happened to me, because it's kind of got me excited, right? Because I'm like, okay, you forget how fun it is to go on an adventure with Jesus. It's the unexpected things that are marvelous. It's the meeting a miracle in a moment that you never expected, right? It's knowing that sovereignly providence has been working all along, and you think you're going to the gas station just to get gas, and God puts you with a gentleman who loves the Lord, and he encouraged me in that moment. He actually had retired from UPS, and he was just letting me know to make sure I'm taking care of myself and resting when I need to, and all those things, right? Who knew that would happen? So I want to encourage y'all, because I think in one of our next meetings, I may go around the room, so y'all prepare yourselves and say, okay, tell me one encounter that you had, one divine appointment you had that the Lord set up. You didn't know it was coming. You didn't plan it. Nothing. Jesus just set somebody in front of you, right? Because I think that is where we begin to see, okay, God is really using me. Maybe I'm not to the purpose I think I'm supposed to get to, but see, it's on the journey that God still uses us. And every moment, every divine encounter in that moment is equipping us, preparing us, readying us for the next step. And that helps us not get so frustrated, right? That helps us not get so frustrated. Because, when I think of Jesus, the whole time in the scriptures, he has a place to get to, but he always stops along the way, right? He always stops for the sick. He stops for the hurting. He stops for the dead and raises them from the dead. You know what I mean? Like, he's working. He's not just so focused on the cross in the moment. He knows he's going to the cross, but along the way, he's ministering to people. He's loving on people. He's smiling at people, encouraging people, right? And sometimes those appointments are as much for us as for those God puts in front of us. So I just want to encourage y'all with that. Let's get our eyes off what we think is the end game or the destination and understand that it's day by day, moment by moment, assignment by assignment. If we can remember that, then the frustration won't come, right? The feeling of just hopelessness, like I'm never going to get to what I'm called to do. All of that. No, remember, God orders our steps. He establishes our steps. I actually like that translation better. He establishes my steps, right? So I have to hold everything loosely so that He can move, because He knows what He has planned, even when I don't. And I have to be willing to get off what I've planned, get off my schedule, and to be flexible and go where the wind blows. All right? So take it day by day and go where the wind blows. All right? See y'all later.
We hope today's episode has blessed you and encouraged you to pursue Christ passionately. To join us again for more encouragement, equipping, and empowering, subscribe to the 320 Podcast. We would also like to invite you to enjoy our round-the-clock radio station, Royalty for Real Radio for Women, at royaltyforreal.com. That's royalty, the number 4, real.com.